Buckshot, welcome back.
Hey man, thank you for having me one more time, sir. Fortunately Ebro's not in this round, so that's a good thing. Hello, shout out to Ebro. Nah, we mad cool. It be mad people that be listening. I mean, watch who saw that and they see me in the street and they be like, "Yo, I saw what you did to Ebro." It is funny, but in reality, me and Ebro, we actually cool. So I just had to, huh?
See y'all squashed it.
I just had to set the record straight, man. Like, it's a difference between. See, people gotta understand. Like, there's a difference between personal and business, and that's where like a lot of people not only get it wrong, but that's the reason why people don't elevate. They don't get where they're trying to get. They don't do what they want to do, because they doing shit wrong.
Mm-hmm. So did you and Ebro actually have a conversation and kind of work things out?
We had a conversation, even though it wasn't as long as people would think it was. We did have a conversation, and it's pretty much like, yo, when he bring me back up there with the sneakers, because the first time, he brought me up there, I gotta give him that respect. I gotta give him that respect. Like in that interview, if people watch it, it was like we busting at each other, and he he was like, yo, I'm bringing you up here to represent your savages, and I'm like, well, I'm teaching you about hip hop, so we even. You know what I'm saying? You putting my shows, you putting my shows in the public, right? And I'm putting your ignorance in the public, and we both together are, going round one. Now, if he want to go round two, if I'm saying this and he want to go round two, then I'm fine with that as well. You know what I'm saying? I got my verbal gloves on. I'm down anytime, anywhere, anybody, anytime. You know what I'm saying? Doesn't matter. It could be anybody. Because I'm cool with them. And when people hear me come out like that, that's more or less like, that's the business side. That's not, that's the business buck side. Shoot you down. But me and him is cool,
Okay. Now, what about you and Lord Jamar? Because I remember last time we brought you up, you disagreed with some of the comments that Lord Jamar said about white people being guests in hip hop, and you said certain things that Jamar reacted to and so forth.
What's deep? When the fact that he's my brother, he's the God. It overrides whatever the hell. You feel what I'm saying? Because truthfully and honestly, I don't even remember. Real talk. I'm not even playing with you. I don't remember what the disagreement was. I know it was, you just reminded me of that too. So that should let you know the level of importance it is and the impact in my brain. Because I'm like, if I see the God, it's like, peace. I remember me and the God burning trees at State Street, holding down the MPC, and him making beats and me right there on the chair, and my man Swan and them blazing trees. That's what I remember more than an argument between two brothers who, shit get public, which is not cool, but it's like, that's how it is. You know what I'm saying? But two brothers is gonna argue, and then they gonna make up. If they really brothers, they gonna argue, and then they gonna make up. That happens all the time with families, all the time.
Yep, absolutely, man. I'm glad to hear that. No doubt. Now let's take it back for a second. When you dropped, the first Black Moon album, Enter the Stage, I remember it was roughly around the time that the Nas was dropping Illmatic. And I remember reading, like, it may have been Double XL magazine, I think, at the time, where it talked about how you and Nas were like at a restaurant together, just talking about how what y'all doing is about to change hip hop and everything else like that. Do you know what
Yeah,
I'm talking about?
yeah.
Can you talk about that?
I mean, same thing. I mean, and what's funny is, which we'll come back to as well. I gotta shout out. I gotta give a special respect and shout out to Nas. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people really don't know what type of mind frame he got, in the sense of, obviously his music and his art is one thing, but his business mind is another. And I think, for probably the way he won it, like, people don't really know that level of a business mind and an investor and all other stuff. You won't really know that about Nas, and part of that is probably the persona of what you see when a lot of y'all feel not a shy Nas, or what I'm saying, not as upfront as some of the other artists. Nas is, a little more laid back, but with that, he's another smart individual. So, but me and him, and he said that he respect my flow at that same moment, and I replied to him how much I respect his mind back then, even when it came to like flowing. So for us to both sit there and for him to give me acknowledgement, of course, that was big. That was impactful, you know, because he had an impact on me and hip hop, my hood, and everybody at the time, That's Nas, So during that time when he was on fire, and you heard the beats, and you heard Primo, and it was just a perfect combination,
Yeah, I mean, the interesting thing about Illmatic is that that was like the first time in hip hop that instead of just working with your DJ slash producer, which is what you did, he actually went and got every hot producer in New York to give them their hottest beats and create this like masterpiece.
Yeah.
Whereas before then, it'd be like, listen, you're working with Evil D.
Yeah, like
So
B minus
there may be a
producers,
beat. I mean, I don't know. Did
Gangstar,
Evil D
Premier.
do your whole album?
Did Beat Miners do the whole album?
Well, Beat Miners, yeah. So it's Evil D and
Yeah,
what, Mr. Walt?
yeah. Evil D, Mr. Walt, Baby Paul.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
So that's what I'm saying. Like you had, it may not have been one particular person, but it was like a
it was
small
it
little
was the
group.
Beat Miner family. It was the Beat
Yeah.
Miner sound.
Yeah, the
So
Beat
yeah,
Miner family was creating Black Moon albums, but Nas didn't do that. He didn't just
that
have
that
large.
actually had me. That actually it caught me at the time too, when I was like, yo, like that's fly. That's fly right there. For him to get all those, it kind of like builded up an anticipation, right? Like when you heard each song, it was like an anticipation build up to see who was the next producer, what was the next joint, you know?
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
And
because Illmatic could have just been him and Large Professor, because that was like, from what I understand, the two people that were closest together. You know what I'm saying? But
yeah,
Large Professor was on there, but then it was like Premier, Q-Tip,
yeah.
you know,
Which is ill too, because even at the time, a lot of heads ain't really know Q-Tip was fire on the beats like
right.
that, as far as the mainstream artists. They didn't really know, because I remember at the time a lot of heads was saying to me, yo, oh, Tip, oh, that's Tip. And I'm like, man, Tip is, he's fire, you know. He helped us out on the Crooklyn Dodge. He did,
Yeah.
Crooklyn Dodger joint. So
Yeah, man, along with Pete Rock, and I'm trying to think who else the producers were on there. I mean, LES had a beat on there, Large Professor had a beat on there, but nah, it was incredible, man. I think it changed the direction of hip hop when it dropped.
it was an ill time. It was an ill time for everybody. During that that season, it was blissful for hip hop. I mean, for me at the time, it was a little different, you know, personally, but as hip hop overall, yeah, you know what I'm saying. But as for me personally, there was it was the fact that no matter what, how much I tried, um, or no matter what I did, I guess at the time, um, I could never reach the level that I had the music, I had everything. But what I didn't have was the major label, or at the time, the level of a label that would have really ran with the ball. You know what I'm saying? It's almost like, yeah, you know, a construction company will always do a better job than you, hands on, and no matter how much equipment you have or paint, you know, it and people could tell you that all day long. They could sit there and they could tell you, no, that ain't true. You could do it. You could accomplish it, but it's such a height and a feat that it will take what happened just now to happen. Meaning the time span is going to take to actually make it really happen is a long time, which is why right now we got the Afros and the young MAs and all the new producers, Static Selector and blah, blah, blah. And most of those labels back then, they died, so.
Yeah, well, I mean, I feel that you guys, you know, I mean, I personally bought the first Black Moon album and I loved it, but I think like when Duck Down became more of a crew and everyone else started coming in, that's when really you guys started to solidify the impact of what you guys were doing as a team.
Yeah.
You know, not so much as an individual. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. But no matter what, we still never was that, you know, I hear that all the time, you know, and like no matter what, it will never make sense to the level that people want it to on a reality level. Like I got you, dog. It was me. I was the guy that was there, but I was also the guy that know that during the time, Steve Allowed Records might have been able to get Mobb Deep on 15 different stations when I had to knock on the door myself. So I was probably getting two. You know what I'm saying? And those two was enough to make an impact to the real core fans of people. You know? But it never reached the level of like what they call mainstream, like people that don't even care about hip hop. They just not like that. They just care about the movement, the jam of it, going out, having fun, da da da. And for you know, I just couldn't supply that on that level. So there might have been certain artists that was on the same level of playing field, music, that might have went platinum or gold when it took us that much longer to even make those level of numbers.
Yeah, I mean, because I mean, now that you mention Mobb Deep, I mean, you're right. They were really very close to you guys genre wise.
Yeah.
And yet, I guess since they're on Loud Records, they had a different type of push because
Yeah.
Loud Records had Sony behind them.
I mean, come on, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, hands down, again, like you could let your moral heartbeat pump all you want and do the no, man, and we are the world and all that, but that's not gonna make a reality that, you know, a record label that has a list of 15 to 20 blasts that they have to do and do them simultaneously and get it done, as opposed to a guy like me who has a list and I'm like, call this guy, call that guy. And that actually shows you the impact of us because we were so unpolitical, but yet we did get to the level we got to, you know, but, you know, so that might have been more impactful, but that was the reality.
Do you remember when you first met Sean Price?
Man, Ruck was always in Brownsville, so it's hard to say when I actually met Ruck, because he was in Brownsville. I grew up in Brownsville, He might have been on this side of the street when I was on that side of the street. So, but when I officially became, yo, that's my dude was probably around 91.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Around 91. And I always vowed that I was going to take myself to a level and I was going to bring my brothers with me. And I knew, like, once I got on, I was going to come back and get the dudes that helped me get to this level right here.
Like Sean Price, AKA Ruck,
Yeah.
I felt was one of the least standout members of Duck Down during that early time because, he was in the group with Nocturnal and Rock had that voice, that everyone was kind of drawn to. And I felt like he was like the standout member of the group.
Always gonna happen.
A lot of times you don't remember Ruck's verses as much. And I just find it so amazing that as time went on, he actually became, one of the most prominent people of Duck Down. Like he was like the poster boy for Duck Down for a long time.
Ruck saved us. I'm gonna just give it to you real simple and plain. Ruck saved us. Ruck, we was near done. Financially, we was close to like the red button, like the artist-wise, the records, this, that, audience. You maxed out the whole, real hip-hop, man. And then Ruck just came and flipped style and lyrics. I became a fan of Ruck. Always was a fan of his, but I became a fan of that Ruck. Like, it was like, and I always tell that story about how from that point, Duck Down actually came back. Because people know that we survived all these years, but from that point, when Ruck started releasing a slew of records, just records. I mean, he had that concept. Whereas before, it would be this whole mystical, magical, be in the studio for X amount of time and then wait for it to drop and then anticipation of, he like later for all that. I'm dropping verse after verse after verse after verse. And because of that, it saved us. And then he brought us to get Drew High with Ninth Wonder. And from that point, we started flowing again.
What was it that made so many people connect with Sean Price?
Ruck didn't care. For real. He didn't care. Like, it wasn't an act. It wasn't none of that. I think people just attracted to him personifying what they would really want to personify, but they got boundaries and reasons why they can't do that. Whereas Ruck just didn't give a fuck. Real talk. Fuck I'm I'ma do this, I'ma do that. I'm gonna be the flyest. I'm gonna give the people this, and I'm gonna just whatever it was. Ruck was just like, man, like fuck all that real hip, like all the people that necessarily, when I say real hip hop vibe, like there'd be people coming in and they'd make their version of what they think real hip hop was or is, and Ruck would just be like, man, fuck all that lyrical, spiritual, miracle bullshit. Like, fuck out of here with that shit. And it did. It influenced, because from that point, it influenced us, because from that point, we had to play it back. But he became, that's why, in one of the joints, everybody say it, but in one of the joints, he's like, Sean Price, leader of the Bootcamp Clik now. When he said that, it was real. It was true. It didn't matter how much people felt and knew at the time, or felt like, Buckshot is like, first, like, no. I actually, my mind frame, and it's a whole other position, the way we move. Ruck became the leader of the Bootcamp Clik because he was finding ways to dig holes for us to come through, and came back.
I remember I was driving around LA and I saw this mural that said, Sean Carter is nice, but Sean Price is the best.
Yeah. See, he didn't give a fuck about saying that. He didn't care. Some rappers would have said, nah, I ain't gonna say that. Or, you know, unless I got drama with the dude or unless I want beef or with him. And Ruck would be the type that'll see Sean Carter and be like, yeah, I said that. That's how I feel. Like, ain't no beef though, Duke. Like, you good? And you might say something like, nah, I ain't good. Like, yo, you just said you the better, and then he'll get his. So what you know, once he, you know, go there, it's kind of hard. And the crazy thing is, because Ruck didn't give a fuck, he was the total opposite, I guess, of what people would think. Meaning, like, he was the coolest dude in the world. Son didn't like nobody getting hurt. He didn't like just certain things. If it was like, I guess you would think that Ruck would get on some. I don't care about that. Like, actually, like family, you know, and real close friends that he called family. He, you know, he doesn't like that. You know, he didn't like that.
How did you feel when you heard he passed away?
Oh my gosh, I don't know, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was at my baby mom's crib because I was supposed to go to Canada to do a show, and Shucky had called my phone. It was like 8 in the morning, and I'm probably like 9 or something, 8, 9, maybe 8. I gotta remember. It was like 8 something, and Shucky called me and said, yo, this nigga Ruck died, man. So I said, what? Like, what are you talking about, man? He's like, yo, this nigga Ruck died, man. So I'm like, yo, what the fuck are you talking about, Shucky? Like, he was like, yo, the nigga died this morning, son. I was like, this can't, like, I don't know how to register that. What the hell do you mean? I went outside, and the moment I went outside, my man Prince, baby, had just was born. The minute Ruck had died, my man Prince, baby, was born. So Prince had called me and was like, yo, God, I got a son. I had a son. So I was like, son, yo. And from that point on, I told him Ruck was going, and he was flipping, and I was flipping, and I started flipping through the streets. I'm running through the streets, people asking me, I'm okay. I'm not okay. I'm smoking cigarettes. You know what I'm saying? I don't even smoke stoves. So I'm running through the streets smoking Lucy's cigarettes. I'm like, I didn't know how to register it, you know? So I ran over to the crib, and when I ran over to the crib, I went upstairs, and, you know, there was my brother. You know, he was laid out in the bed, man. I had to see him laid out in the bed, like, gone. You know what I'm saying? Just laid right there. I'm like, how is this like? It still don't register today, but back like it really didn't register. I was like, yo, like, you know, his leg is shaped like a P, like he in P position. I look at his eyes. I'm like, you know, his mouth. I had to close my man's mouth. You know what I'm saying? I had to close his eyes. You know, I made salat next to him. You know, as a Muslim, he get what they call a Janazah, you know. So I had to actually clean his body. Me still tech, like, you know, I give respect. That was harsh. You know what I'm saying? Like, to clean your man. You like, yo, I'm cleaning my man. He gone. Like, I don't. Like, it's almost like a computer when you put it on and you type in the wrong thing. It just keep going, not found, match not found, match not. That's how it was to me. So still to this day, people, they bombard the internet and they bombard things with Ruck's pictures, and they just be, be driving me crazy, because the only way for me to deal with this is to, like, Not. I don't deal with it. Like I don't put up pictures with rest in peace Ruck. I don't do the rest in peace any of that. I don't do none of it because it still doesn't register to me. And actually, yesterday I was swiping his thing, and I was like, damn, I miss you, you know.
Yeah, man. I mean, that must have been unbelievably hard. You actually went and visited his dead body along with
Yeah.
the other boot camp clique. Like right there, like the coroner hadn't come yet or anything else like that yet?
Nah, not no coroner, you know. Like no coroner came.
Wow. And his wife was still there too?
Yeah.
Were his kids in the room?
The kids was there. I think I know Bernadette was there. Obviously, yeah, man. Everybody was there. Sean Price, his daughter, man. It impacted his daughter. You know, I think she was the one that it impacted the most. You know what I'm saying? Because for her, she's a little girl and she was super, super close to Ruck. Super close. If you look at all of the shows that we did, you would see Ruck and his daughter, and you would see me with the Buckettes. You know what I'm saying? So like every show was either it was Ruck and Sean and Buck and the Buckettes. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
and he
yeah,
was
man.
only 43 years old when he passed.
Yeah, man.
It's like that is so young.
Yeah. You know, this show, this shit ain't no joke, man. This shit is no joke. There's been times where, and there's been way more times than 100, that I would be on the road, man. I'd be like, yo, man, I don't suggest this life for nobody. Like, yo, I don't suggest this life for nobody. They don't understand what they would get up at 5 in the morning. Time to go. After you do the show, you just get up at 5 and 6 in the morning or 7, whatever it is. Even if you get up 12 o'clock, check out time. You got to get up. You got to get in the car, load the stuff. You got to get ready to drive to the airport, get on the air, wait for the thing, fly to wherever. Soon as you land, somebody's coming. Take you to your hotel room. Before you do that, you gotta eat something. Go to the hotel room, change your clothes, get ready for the show, go to the thing, sign autographs. That's, and then you do that every day. So when Lil Wayne and myself and Chris Brown and Rick Ross and all these other individuals who suffer from a physical aspect of it is where it really come in at. Where I'll be like, man, I might have thought it was me, and I just go through it, and then you see stuff like that.
You had seizures yourself.
Yeah, and I don't. Same thing, I mean, people got to understand how hard and how difficult it is to talk about it. Some people that do talk about it is like, but I can express some of the things that certain people don't want to say. Like, you're as an artist, you don't want people to feel like you're shut down from society. You know what I'm saying? And you don't want people to constantly be asking, "Are you okay? Are you okay?" If they in the room and they hear something go boom, they run in the room, yo, you good? You good? And then can you do shows now? Overseas from the plane pressure. You know what I'm saying? Because when you at certain pressure in the air, it affects your oxygen and blah, 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 blah. And I think it's so sad, so sad. You know, two things. It's like, you know, one, we work with, I guess, the neurologists and our doctors, whatever, who at the time works with. So, but people got to understand that, one, it is not something that means you're gonna croak tomorrow. That's one of the biggest misled things, lies, miseducation, whatever it is. That's the number one thing that people do not understand, is that when a person goes through that, you know, that's an electrical storm. You know, electric powers our brain. So when you got too much, if you leave a phone plugged in for too long, it'll have a problem. You leave a computer plugged in the wall for too long, it'll have a problem. Like, so if a person's brain is constantly going, talking to this one, da da da, da da da, da da da, and you only get rest for the fake rest time, yo, man, that's gonna have an effect on you. And a situation like, you know, whether it's, you know, epilepsy or seizures, because once you have a seizure more than twice, they have to legally say that you have epilepsy. You know what I'm saying? And epilepsy is just a symptom of having seizures. Now, everyone has seizures. Everyone. People that have a little muscle spasm, jump in their arm, whatever it is. It's just that there's levels of it, and then there's, you know, tiny levels of it. People like myself, Rick, you know what I mean, Lil Wayne, just because I know about the others, but I specifically know that recently Lil Wayne has gone through it, and it's one of the reasons why it's not so happy. We're not so happy to take the medicine is because when you take the medicine, you damn near can't walk. You know, you can't. The shit is crazy. You know, so you got to know how to balance it out and the whole thing like that. It's a whole different monster. But believe it or not, when people they joke about medical marijuana, and that's one of the only things that help it. You know, I'm physically telling you that I can deal with this, deal with that, drug wise, like they're pharmaceutical, whatever, and I could, you know, smoke the right, you know, medical marijuana, which is CBD, and also, you know, CBD is cannabidiol. I could smoke that, and I'll be good for the whole time. You know, like I'm good, and that's the reason why certain artists isn't so enthusiastic about taking their medicine to that certain level. I mean, you damn near can't even walk out on stage. You know what I'm saying?
I feel you.
So
I feel you.
You know, I mean, really can't walk. And I'm mad at the people that I've seen make comments about Lil Wayne. You know, this is a cruel ass world. People say, yo, if you die, da 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 da, you dead drinking lean too much, da da da. Okay, well, Chris Brown don't drink lean. Right? Angela Bassett don't drink lean. I damn sure don't drink lean. You understand what I'm saying? But you got people out there that don't care. Let me tell you something. I could just to have the ability to walk here was crazy. You know what I'm saying? So people take something as simple as walking for granted. People literally, if you only knew how precious your eyeballs is and all of that, your leg, yo, it's crazy that you could take something that small for granted, because the times when I'm back in effect, you just don't notice it. You know what I'm saying? It's like I'm back. But when those situations happen, and it'd be like, man, you know what I'm saying? And I'm going to keep it always 100. So I don't like when people stack it up of going, he's dead, he going to die, da da da. It just shows you how cruel the world is, and motherfuckers don't care.
So one of your classic songs is I Got You Open.
Mm-hmm.
And Eminem ended up redoing the song and calling it Don't Front and actually
Yeah.
featuring you on the song on the hook. Like,
Yeah.
how did that whole thing come together?
I just got a call from M and pretty much saying that, I mean, me and M was cool before that. But I just got a call from Drew, because M had called Drew and told me that, how much he respects the movement. But he was like, yo, I did over the original. And he was like, yo, do you want to link up? Because I needed to get your verse from you. So I actually left that day and I came back that night. Like I flew to Detroit, boom. And I flew back that night, boom. But when I got there, we did it up. We rhyming, we flowing, we you know what I'm saying? We turning up the room. And I went in, we wilding, and I just went in and did the verse, and after we turned it up, got studio crazy. I'm in the back, out of the studio, we taking pictures, and then after that, I bounced. That same night, probably like 12 o'clock, I flew back to New York.
Now, did you do a verse or did you just do the hook? Because the version I heard just had a hook.
Yeah, actually, I was doing the verse, but I was doing the verse. I went in and did the hook. You know what I'm saying? But I was actually doing the verse from the record at the time. So it's like magic. Like we just had the studio turned up. It wasn't like I went in there and I was on some. It wasn't like M was in there and he was on some, Eminem, like in the corner. You know what I'm saying? It's like, we just two dudes that love hip hop and love rhyming. You can hear it and see it.
Well, there was a story that Eminem almost signed a Duck Down at one point.
Yep. Eminem and Drew are actually real close because when Drew first saw M, he the one that brought M back to us. As far as like, yo, this dude crazy. And when he showed us son and put us on the son, he put us on to, that's when I started seeing M murder dudes in battles. So I would start following him. And then at the time, as I'm following him, murder this one, murder that one, murder this one. Like on stage, he just, off the top of his head, it's like, Jesus, like, he's that crazy. So, Drew and him used to really be tight, and then he was going to sign with Duck Down, and we just, let me put it real simple. We knew that in our hearts that the Dre movement was the right movement. Right? Like we knew that. It wasn't about Duck Down trying to do or say whatever they gotta say behind closed doors to try to get everything, like to get Eminem. Something was so nasty. And we knew as all of us, as friends first, that that's the right move, my G. We love you, but that's where it's gonna blow you up. Like I said in the beginning, we got it, but we got our level of knowing how to take what there and at what time, and eventually we will get there. But it's nothing like an Endoscope, a Dr. Dre, like that. Like that's your level, And I'm glad that M went that level, that route. Obviously, you know what I'm saying. But we in our hearts as Duck Down knew that MC that dope. Ain't no question. He should be known all around the world.
I mean, but as the co-owner of Duck Down, do you ever at one point go like, damn, how many hundreds of millions of dollars did this guy generate? Which, I think a Duck Down, he may not have done the Dre level initially, but it's like he still would have done huge.
He would have done what he would have done, but it wouldn't have been the Batman and Robin that you felt when you saw Eminem and Dr. Dre. You know what I'm saying? Nobody could have pulled off that Batman and Robin in the sense of saying, M was the MC from the block, the gutter, the white trash MC that because people felt like, yo, he from the hood of out there and trailer parks that he rhyme about and blah 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 on 8 Mile, and he came from that level all the way up to Dr. Dre level, and Dre was just endorsing him to a whole other level. It was like, yeah, no question. There's no question that I was more happier about him choosing, to take the route of going with I'm not gonna call it a Bugatti, but just that and we the Benz 500. You know what I'm saying? You know that Benz is out there on the street every day, all day. That Bugatti is real. It got its exclusive pockets and shit. But you know what I'm saying? But we that Benz. That's why we still around.
No doubt. No doubt. Now, I had heard that Aaliyah had done a song with you that never got released.
Same thing, man. Same thing. Like, I put up a post for her yesterday, and I was like, I miss you, man. Yo, like, Aaliyah, let me tell you something. Aaliyah, man, like, I miss her. And I don't know how to talk about certain things as far as this. It's just one of those things where you like, she's Tech's cousin. So that's how we got to Aaliyah. That's how we rocked with her. That's how we met her, because she's Tech from Smith & Wesson's cousin. So that is how we got with her. And I wrote the lyrics, the hook for Night Riders, and she sung the hook. And that's it. Next thing you know, I'm chilling. There's so many people that's leaving us. And next thing you know, Aaliyah leaves us. And I'm like, this just cannot be happening. You can't. You can't. Like, she went down in a what? So it just was too much happening.
How did you and Tupac initially meet?
Tupac called us. We was in the studio. And at the time, we were actually recording, I think, the songs from the Helter Skelter. Yeah. We was doing songs for the Helter Skelter joint. And I got a call. We was in the studio, and somebody came and said, yo, Tupac's on the phone. He want to talk to you. So I was like, what are you talking about? Like, he's like, yo, Tupac's on the phone. He want to talk to you. So I was like, what are you, like, who is this fucking, what type of trick is this, man? So I'm like, yo, what up? It's like, yo, this Pac. So I'm like, yeah, right. Like, yo, what up, man? It's like, yo, this Pac. So I'm like, word. I'm like, yo, what up? He like, what up, man? Yo. We just came home. Ray. Yo, I want this, that, and the third. I want to do this album with y'all, man. Word up. I want to do this album called One Nation. You know what I'm saying? Because he was like, I don't really rock with dudes like meaning like that. He said, y'all was one of the only dudes that bigged me up when I was locked up. So that was the reason why he had caught in touch with us specifically.
Okay, well, how did you guys big him up exactly?
Tech had, I think it's on the back of the Smith & Wesson album, on the tape or somewhere. I gotta remember. But he basically was like, yo, to my dude Pac, hold your head up, my G. Everything gonna be all right. You know what I'm saying? I think he was something like that. New York got your back, something like that. And so when Pac came home, he was like, yo, because everybody in New York just wasn't fucking with him. So when he came back, and Pac is New York, B. Pac is all over. So the impact, he's from New York, he's from everywhere. It's so hard to say that. So him feeling a way about New York and him calling us, and he said, I want to do this album called One Nation, you know, where I take Bone, y'all, we gonna have Bone Thugs from over here, you know what I'm saying? This one from here, we gonna go to Atlanta, so we had a vision. And he said, yo, when can y'all come out? I said, yo, nigga, ASAP. Said, you come out like tomorrow. We flew out. That was Friday. Saturday, we flew out Monday. So I'm like, yeah, we flew out Monday. We was out. And as soon as we landed, there's a video circulating of us and Tupac where you see us, we getting out this limo and we clapping hands with him. That video is soon as we came out the airport, he sent the limo. Soon as we came out the airport, Pac shook our hand and it was studio time from there. It was just studio time. Word up.
Right, because I actually made a list of all the people that were supposed to be in One Nation. So it was, you, of course, Smith & Wesson, Greg Nice.
Yeah, Greg Nice.
Scarface.
Scarface.
E40. E40.
E40, Bone Thugs.
Bone Thugs. And the Outlaws.
Outlaws. And a lot of people don't know LS, who was Busta Rhymes' cousin. LS, he was getting the game too. He was one of the dudes that did the hook on some joints. Like he did the hook on the one that people will be hearing from us and Pac, that I want you. He did that joint. I know you want to. He did that as the hook on, what's the name of the song? I think it's One Nation.
There's a song called Set It Off.
Yeah, nah, it's not
and
that one.
Another song called Let's Fight.
Yeah, not Let's Fight. Oh, man, when we did Let's Fight, man. Oh, man, that was so beautiful. That was lovely. It was nothing like me geesing up this tall. She had to have been like tall, 6 foot, 5. And I'm the opposite. I'm 5'5". So I geesed her up to come because we were shooting a movie. I went and I grabbed Pac. I told Pac, you gotta listen, you gotta say everything I say, because I told her we doing a movie, so you gotta repeat after about everything I tell you, Pac. Pac is like, word, where she at? We go. It was crazy. We filmed. Man, certain things it's like, there was a time when Pac was like told to leave, and he said, I'm not gonna leave without y'all. And once I see them come back, I knew that he had to make that decision of like, nah, nigga, ooh, is us over Death Row? Like we was with Pac, and Death Row had to go somewhere, so it was like, ooh.
Yeah, no, I remember we talked about that in our last interview about how he refused to board the flight unless you guys got on.
Crazy, right? Like Death Row.
Well, how was it during the time? Because this was like the height of the East Coast West Coast beef.
Yeah.
And a lot of New York rappers felt some type of way about it.
Of course they did.
How did people react to you working with the dude that was dissing, the East Coast? Yeah. Even though not directly, but it was like that was the way it was being portrayed.
Yeah, he was a warrior. So yeah, at one time, if it was, he wasn't dissing the East Coast, he was dissing certain East Coast rappers. He wasn't dissing the East Coast, he was dissing certain East Coast rappers, and he wanted the world to know that One Nation is about us respecting hip hop in the streets as a culture or as one nation. And if that person right there, he, got to get it this way, or if that person got to get it this way, then fire up. because they got to get it. You know, that's how he felt. You know,
I
and
mean, did you guys
that's
get any flack though of fucking with Tupac during that time?
yeah. We got a lot of flack. Yeah, we got a lot of flack. You know what I'm saying? But dudes know that we just not them. You know what I'm saying? It's so many of us, and I think that dudes know and they look at it from that thing. Cause like, yeah, we caught it. But then you had dudes that was in our crew. You had the ruck that didn't give a fuck, that would have slapped the shit out you. If he would have saw you, an army couldn't stop this nigga, right? Then you got Rock, who's on the same level of shit, but he just on whatever shit. Then you got Smokey, or AKA Tech, who's just quiet. You know what I'm saying? Then you got Steel, who's really, really quiet. But you don't know what's going through these two minds. You know what I'm saying? I do. Then you got me, who's I'm so political and generalized, meaning I damn near have to. There's times when I calm everything down, and everybody down, and let everybody see things rational. You know?
No, absolutely. Now, at what point Bootcamp and Biggie and Junior Mafia had issues? Was that at the same time that you were working on One Nation?
Yeah, that was at the same time. We was actually working.
Do you think that Tupac kind of picked y'all because y'all kind of had issues with Biggie too?
He actually didn't really. He didn't know, because when we did that at the time, there really was no beef. You know, the beef came a little bit later. It became a little bit later when there was like no apology. That's it. You know what I'm saying? Like a person can say, yo, come on, man, that was some fucked up shit you did. You know, I want an apology. And then you could say, yo, that was just joking, man. I didn't do that to intend to, to play you out. You might have been the hottest rapper at the time, and I was going after the rapper, not you, because hip hop is a competitive sport. So we had MC, dudes going after MC Hammer back in the days, with third bass and all that. Like, that's always been hip hop. So it just got took him to the next level because, I guess we ain't really the type to apologize on that level. But Puffy was cool. Yeah.
Well, I mean, did it start over that one line? Because I guess in OGC, Top Dog had this one line where he said, I can be as good as the rest of them, but as bad as the worst, so don't test me. And then Biggie kind of had the same verse, the same line in one of his songs. Was it over that at all?
Nah, it was over something else. It was over a video that we had did. But when you think about it, I would have to go back to the records to check who did it first. Did Biggie do it first?
I don't know, because when I went and researched it, I'm like, oh, because they were pointing out that line, and I remember both Top Dog and Biggie doing that line, but the Biggie line was like a remix.
Yeah.
Was it the Get Money remix, I think, or something like that?
Yeah.
So it was like, was it over that?
No, I can tell you it was over a video, and
right.
So was upset. But he was over upset. It was, what's funny? It wasn't really even Biggie. Real talk. It was somebody else in the crew, real close to Biggie. And I don't want to get into it today because it's old, but I'll just give you this. Use your brain. It was somebody who was really close to Biggie, okay? They felt the way about it. You know what I'm saying? Big ain't get on some, yo, man, y'all nigga. It wasn't like that. It was literally like somebody in his crew, real close to son, felt like, yo, I want an apology. And when it didn't come, it's almost like, and whoever it was in the crew, the public may never know, and probably some do know. you know, but that is how it got a little heated. You know what I'm saying? Because the two crews just didn't meet eye to eye at the time. But me and Little C's is all of us is tight. Once again, we're super tight. I keep reminding people that you're gonna feel a way about it because one is hip hop. Two, we all brothers. So Biggie and them is from Bed-Stuy, from Fulton. We from up the block. We knew about each other before hip hop. So C's is right around the corner. Like it's crazy when it become hip hop and that is used as a platform to express ourselves. But the public will never look at it like that. It will always be, hurrah, because I thought you really was gonna kill this nigga. You know what I'm saying? And I might be like, I'm gonna kill you, motherfucker, when I see you. But have you said that to your man, your brother, your cousin? Have you ever said some shit like that? Most likely. You know what I'm saying? And that's all it really became. Look, I would love to excite the public still to this day by going, yeah, man, I'm gonna take that motherfucker head off. Fuck that nigga. I would love to. You know what I'm saying? And again, I posted something on Facebook the other day, and it was about a girl, you know what I'm saying? We call her C Murder, that affected me like to a whole other level. You know what I'm saying? To a whole other level. And business-wise, you know, I'm good. I might be good. Everything's cool. Personal-wise, I'm the total opposite. Like personal-wise, I'm shit. Like my shit is fucked up. Like personal-wise. Like I don't even want to get into that shit on camera. But I could say that part of my business, most of my business, is because I've always took all the energy that I've had on a personal level and I've diverted it into my business. You know what I'm saying? That's the reason why I got so many companies, so many, you know, so many things going on in business because I kind of, you know, drown it out like that. So I had put a comment up about C Murder or about how she affect me, whatever. And I didn't get one like, I didn't get one acknowledgement, I didn't get one whatever. But when I put up something else about some other shit, I can't remember what it was some crazy shit. Motherfuckers responded like this, bah, 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 bah. So it just teaches you that, you know, we living in a society that's just doing what they feel because they don't even know, man. Nobody know. Nobody knows shit. You get on the train, you get in the car, you get on whatever you do, you think you really doing this for yourself. I mean, it's like people that go on a march and they like, we gonna rally, we gonna march, and it's hot out here and they marching, they going up the block, they marching to march on establishment, but they going, can I get a water and iced tea and my kid get a bag of chips? So you marching against the protest and you feeding the same devil that you fighting against? Smart. Real smart.
Well, speaking of Biggie, did you watch the VH1 Honors where Rich Homie Quan performed?
Yo, man, that's another subject. Woo! I would love to get into. Meaning, I know listen, I keep hearing, I saw a little bit, leave Shorty alone though, like it's getting old damn near, but like, what? Like, yo, man, people be too, yo, man, I don't be digging it. I don't promote it. Yo, and anybody, I don't care. Like, if you wanted me to be the keep it, the complain rapper, that nigga, just cause you feel that way, right? The fuck out of here. All right?
Well, it was just, you know what it was? It was just so funny what he said.
No, you're right. That's what I'm saying. You see how you reacted to it? You see how it was like, Yo, they was so funny. Like,
It was
that's
funny.
the cool shit. Like, come on, man. You got people on the street that's taking this so serious, they out there want to
Right.
protest against the little nigga. The fuck
Right.
is that?
'Cause he
No
said-
rich homie Quan, like,
He said, play Nintendo with C's and Alamo. And I died. I died at that point. You know what I'm saying? And the
Come on.
memes, right afterwards, there was a meme of little C's at Alamo Rent-A-Car with these 2 Nintendo controllers. And I was just, I actually texted C's. I'm like, yo, like, this is the funniest
on.
shit ever.
you gotta love the internet, one. And two, that was hilarious. I'm glad that you laughed because
Right.
I was crying and I took it like, yo, dog, like, hoy vey, man. Like, is it that serious? Like, what are you gonna do? Did you do anything for his kids? Huh? You same internet, you netathon. All you do is sit there. You want more props than you care about his anything. Yo, but that's Biggie. No one disrespects the god of hip hop. Later for that. So when the last time your nickel and dime ass gave his daughter, his brother, his cousin of a cousin, even a bean pie, you ain't give nothing, but you sitting there barking because you programmed to that. You're programmed. Like, it ain't got nothing to do with nothing. You programmed to that. You so programmed into that, you didn't even know Foxy didn't get picked unless they told you. Come on, B. Foxy? Y'all
What do you
didn't
mean?
pick Foxy?
Foxy didn't get picked for what?
For the
Honest?
whatchamacallit? The
The
female
VH1.
thing that they invited.
Oh, they picked Lil' Kim over Foxy.
Why would they need to pick anybody over anybody? You got everybody. This one that first of all, Rage is one of I don't know if, like, she's one of my favorite. She's definitely my favorite female MC, no question. But there's a lot of male MCs, right, who don't get the props that Rage do from me. I mean, she's bananas when it comes to flow, right? And I'm a flowitist. If people watch me, they listen to me, they know, they see how I flow because I be grabbing notes out of the air and stuff like that. That's just what I'm used to. That's a me thing too. I know it sounds crazy, but when people see me doing this, I woke up in the morning after the day. When they see that, it's because I be feeling like that's in the air, and that's just my own crazy thing in my head. But it's like for the kids. Most of y'all, stop taking it too serious. And for real, man, most of you older guys, y'all the ones who starting these problems. And that's obvious. Obvious. Because anything, like especially like a cell, any cell is gonna fight to keep itself alive. Any cell, whether it be a cell in your body or whether it be you yourself. Any of y'all niggas gonna fight to survive. So first thing you're gonna say is, yo man, that shit ain't. Like, so what you want us to do? Stick to the same thing and then stick to the same thing? Well, how we ever gonna have growth and development?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's common sense, man.
I feel you.
You know?
Now I had heard that you created the term backpack rap.
Pretty much, because I always kept my backpack and that I'm a crazy dude like that. I always kept my knapsack on everywhere I went, everywhere I go, didn't matter. And I was always a certain type of rhymer. You know what I'm saying? I was, one lyrical MC, da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. So today, anytime you rhyme like that, you a backpack rapper. One, because you don't even got to have a backpack. All you got to do is just rhyme the opposite of the commercial shit, and they call you a backpack rapper. Right? That's some bullshit, but it is what it is. Like, people got to find a way to categorize shit. But, like, if you ain't, And then they don't even want to give. That's fucked up because they ain't gonna give a battle rap. They not gonna put you as a backpacker on the radio like that. Come on. Stop.
Yeah, I mean, I think Joey Badass is probably the first
on,
example
man.
of like a backpack rapper that's actually getting, you know, more mainstream looks these days.
But you know what's funny is that now and Joey is my man. That's family. That's family. But I felt like that's family, meaning not blood family, but you know his mom's Kim and Drew Ha, you know. But after a while, it started to become programmed into people just to say that too, like, yo, backpack rapper, Joey. I heard that yesterday. Like, so, you know what I'm saying? You really can't sit there and go, holy shit, Kendrick Lamar is actually another backpack rapper. You know what I'm saying? Or, you know, without running down the names or whatever, but just going down to that style of rap and going, holy snap. Like, so Kendrick Lamar made it to the radio, made it to a whole other level. But he still didn't get the props he deserved because he already got stamped a backpack rapper. So even though he got to the level of damn near American Music Awards in it, he still didn't get those props.
Well, I mean, he won how many Grammys last time? I would say he got his props.
Well, he had to fight for that. And when I say he had to fight for that, of course he gonna get his props he got his props. But when I say fight for that, it's damn near like he had to take more blood than give out more blood than take in. And anybody who knows those situations, they know that's the case. They know that's the deal. Yes, that's what makes Kendrick Lamar the soup. And that's what I mean. That's what I mean. Like, you got to that level, and yet every time people mention the dopest rapper, they so dumbified because they mention the same people that they don't even know. Biggie Pac, Nas, Rakim. Do you know one Rakim lyric? I came in the door. Nah, not the one everybody use. Give me a Rakim verse. Give me a Nas verse. So you just know Biggie, Pac, Nas, and Rakim because you keep seeing the same ass sticker go up people's feeds on the internet. Yep. Listen up, bro. Come on, man. And that's what I mean by why they don't go, Kendrick Lamar. And, you know, different people have different opinions. Grand Poobah, you know, whoever. Like, what happened to the West Coast? We're Coolio. We're Matt Dre. Like, damn. We're the West Coast. Y'all don't even consider that. Ice Cube. Who? Man, the highest I'm going is Snoop Dogg. That's foul.
I feel you. So I remember one of our previous interviews, you talked about how you actually have your own sneaker that you designed, manufactured, everything else like that. What happened with that?
Yeah, I'm gonna show you. I actually am proud to explain that. But before I hope we got a second and a half for me just to explain this, because I had to, man. For real, I got to say this. Like, for all the old rappers trying to advance us all over, man, take it like a man. Pac said that. I didn't say that. Now, for Pac to say that at that time, yo, man, because he was the new MC, right? And there was a lot of MCs at the time that was like, yo, that Pac shit ain't that real hip-hop, man. Fuck all that violence and killing and this and that, and that ain't real, man. Back in the days, we used to do the hip and the hop and that's what drove Pac to say that, okay? I'm saying that right now today because I really don't care how many of y'all, I don't give a marshmallow s'mores the damn about any of y'all who say, Buck, you wrong, Buck, that ain't cool, but the problem is, for all of y'all, give some of these kids a break, bro. Give them a break. Like, for real. You know, one day, not too long ago, I had sat down in my crib. I had saw rappers, they was, 21 gang, right? And I was like, yo, these are the freshman dudes, right? And I said, yo, let me sit back and let me actually listen. Like, let me give my Buckshot BDI ears to listen. And I'm watching them. These dudes they got purple dreads, purple braids. This one got a mouthful of gold. This one got tight pants and mouthful of gold. And I'm listening to them and I'm watching this. And you couldn't really even hear whatever they were saying. You know what I said after all that? I could dig it. I fucks with it. Because I'm listening to how you can't understand what they saying. It's not that they not saying nothing. You can't get it. Because how I got it to where it's a Lil Uzi or whoever, whatever, Kodak Black or whatever one of them might say something like, I'm holding with your girl, she don't know you got my word. Like, his art is not to say it clear. Like, that's the new thing. That's the lick, that's the wave, that's the new shit. That's the litness. We don't stay in one spot in hip hop. And if you go back in the days, you got some of our artists that was dressing super tight. Yo, we was dressing for noodles back in the days. All right? From bell bottoms, tight lees, all types of crap. Hair dreaded this way, all that. And you don't know it because you don't know your hip hop history. So when I'm looking at these little kids and I'm like, damn, everybody going in on them, freshmen, da da da. You know what I said? It's funny how I can't find one of your YG that's going in on this. It's all the OGs. And why I don't see YGs, a bunch of them going crazy, because this is the lick. This is they new lick. You got little YGs every 5 minutes going, facts, boy. Facts, yo. So, yo, that's some good ass bread right there. Facts, boy. Like, that's their language and their culture. And I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. This how it go. Hip hop preserved us. Bro, remember when you ain't have no gray on your bed? Stop. You are now the great granddad or the granddad, because 50 is the old school dude. Remember when 50 was the new dude for you? Stop. And I only made that statement just now because I couldn't wait to get on here so I could tell people, because I just got tired of it. I got tired of what do you think about the Kodak Black and the Little Uzi and what just the whole 21 gang? Like, what you think about them? And it's like, for me to just sit here and say, nah, they whack just because y'all all saying they whack, fuck out of here.
No, I mean, I'll be honest. I like all that shit. I like Lil Uzi Vert. I like the Migos. I like Young Thug.
Migos is my shit.
Because my thing was, I never wanted to be that dude who the only thing I could do is keep listening to old shit over and over again. If you're a real hip hop head, you can't wait to hear the new hot shit. You can't wait.
If you're a person. If you're a person and you just keep going, same music, same style, same style, same, you drive yourself insane.
Right.
Right?
Like, so and in order to get that feeling, you have to listen to new artists. You got to get into that vibe. And you know what I'm saying? I like all that shit. When people ask me the question, I tell them the exact, what do you think about hip hop these days? I think it's dope. I love it.
I think it's dope.
I'm glad it's still going strong.
And the reason, look, I won't hide it. Yeah, just right here, baby. I got like 4 or 5 straight. There you go. And let me tell you something. What I'm glad to do is bring my respect and my love back to the game. See, that's where a lot of rappers and a lot of DJs and producers, that's what they not doing. What they not doing, bring the respect back to the game. Get these look, speaking about sneakers. So me, my partner D Shaw, my partner Olise Pharrell, my partner Phil Hayes, my partner Blue Flame, okay? We all got together and We bled for this, right? Me and D started we all of us started a shoe company called TRPL. I first met D through the buck bag, through the backpacks. D introduced me to the shoes. I said, word? I said, wait a minute, if we do our own and we this and we that and blah, 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 because he was like, he wasn't even really, I was like, yeah, next thing you know, we formed a team. From us forming a team and Phil forming a team with us, and we got Olis Pharrell, the dopest, the illest cut on video ever. Next thing you know, we had the whole team. And Dr. Wu, who is our manufacturer in Korea, is a veteran. So I didn't even know I was working with the top veteran in the game. All I knew was I was being put on. And then from that point on, we grew. Yo, man, this has been 5 years. I think $2.something million. And I'm talking oodles and noodles. I'm talking crushed green. I'm talking green, not loud. Green. Crushed on the table. I'm talking about all-nighters. I'm talking about bleeding. Just for us to say, instead of it being Converse, and instead of it being Nike and Puma and Fila all the time, let's just give them competition. Let's go, let's battle these dudes. And that was the reason why we gave back to hip hop in the form of saying, you can't not have a Converse and a TRPL together no more. I was on my way up here. A girl had a pair of Converse. I had on my TRPLs. So these are the duck down joints.
Can you take off the shoe so we can see it in the camera?
Oh yeah, no question.
Or if you have another one, you know what I mean? Whatever.
Oh yeah. No, first and foremost, I got the box. I think the box is in the bag. But this is the TRPL duck down.
Okay, so
this
that's
way?
your shoe right there.
Back right here. Right here is good. Okay, yeah, this is our shoe. This is the TRPL shoe, the right path in life. You know what I'm saying?
Well, from first glance, it looks like a Chuck Taylor.
Okay, so now look. This is what they call a Viking shoe, right? This shoe is what they call a Viking shoe. That's why you have this shoe, you have Pro Keds, you have PF Flyers, you have Pony. The only thing was that Converse got they got known the most. But because you're known the most doesn't mean you can own that, right? Like we could have had the most highest rapper, but don't mean he owned hip hop. You understand what I'm saying? So okay. Chuck Taylor and Converse might have been the most known for the style because it became embedded in people's head that this is just their shoe, right? So Converse took it and they ran with that. But this is not, you cannot own something just because you're the most popular. Here's another difference. We took the time and the quality, and we, for real, I'm not no BS. We did the work. Converse don't got this. We the ones that put the insole. When we was kids, we used to call it chunky. We put the chunky insole on here that say TRPL, but it's chunky, right? Then Converse don't have on the tip of their bumper microphones in the word hip hop. You would think after all these years we supported them, you would think that they would just do that. Something as simple as that.
Right, and for those that don't know, at one point Nike bought Converse.
Yeah, they bought.
So you basically have the biggest sneaker company in the world pushing these sneakers. Yeah. So the levels are much different.
It's no different than looking for an independent deal and being on Sony. Now you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now you get but that don't mean we're gonna step and do our thing and we're gonna try as much as we can to support hip hop. Fine. They don't respect hip hop. All they want to do is go grab hip hop and take a piece of it and pay you and have you you making them millions and blah blah blah. But nobody is doing the duck down, right? and saying, I respect hip hop, so I'm gonna do a duck down. Nobody is sitting here going, we got hip hop on the tissue. On the tissue. Nobody's sitting there going, I'm gonna respect the brand Nubians. These are brand Nubians. They slow down in hip hop. You think Converse will go, you know what? We respect brand Nubians, right?
Oh, so you actually have a brand Nubian model.
You think Converse, after all these years of hip hop, they would have made a Public Enemy shoe? Right? You would think that. Y'all not gonna make a Public Enemy shoe when we damn near, you know how many people in Public Enemy wore Converses back in the days? It was either boots or Converses that people like Public Enemy wore. You didn't want to give it to them? You telling me you that serious that you're not gonna respect Naughty by Nature? You know what? How about this? I don't need you to do nothing. I'm gonna do it all. I'm gonna do it all. I'm the same guy who made my own label, right? Made our own video production, had our own beat production, right? So I just know how to lead by example. And anybody out there that says, I'm going to keep supporting Buckshot, I'm going to keep supporting, you know what I'm saying, whatever he do, whatever movement he behind, because I know when he do a movement, it ain't for me. I'm not the guy who want neck for the jury, 10,000 girls. It's not for me. It's for y'all. Because I enjoy this by watching y'all. I can stay in the crib. It's boring. I like doing this by watching y'all, talking to you, getting it off my chest. You know what I'm saying? Us sharing the fact that we both could tell people now we not on some, yo, word, they ain't doing it like the old school, man. You know what I'm saying? They ain't keeping hip hop with the original flavor like how we used to do now. Remember how we used to spit that? We had good lyrics, whatever happened. Like, dog, the art of them is not to be clear. The art of us was to be clear. So you just don't get it.
Yeah. But how do you feel, you know, from someone who creates shoes themselves? Like, what do you think about the impact that Kanye made with the Yeezy?
I think that was a good thing. Again, I'm never going down my peoples in the public. And I don't mean just my black peoples. I mean independent people who trying to do something, man. You know what I'm saying? Because it really is hard. And I big him up for doing what he did. Like, what we did is a whole other level. This is a whole other level, though. This is an actual shoe company. You know what I'm saying? We're an actual footwear company. So the difference between, like, us and just say a print on a piece of paper, you know what I mean, on the side of a shoe. That's just a print. Kanye had a sneaker situation with somebody. We do this ourselves. That's why I said $2.some million was invested in this. And the difference, Kanye said, you ain't put $13 million of your own money and invested in this. You remember that?
Well, yeah, because I think Kanye tried to invest his own money into his own fashion line, and it didn't work out. He ended up losing everything.
All right, but let me ask you a question, right? Bottom line is, you heard what it took. It took $13 million. He said, you ain't got $13 million. So if I'm doing it on an independent level, how much you think it's going to cost me? At least around $3.3 million, right? This ain't records. It's a whole other animal. You don't just go in the studio, make a track, it sound dope, you put it out, it's available, you make some money, da-da-da. It's a whole other animal, period. Bumps and bruises. So, you know, look, it's the duck downs, right? The box. But the reason why I bought this shoe, because this was the first shoe. And everybody else out there who remember this shoe, because we're not going to make it again. This shoe right here, the first shoe was the Savage. And the reason why I wanted people to see that shoe on here, because I wanted them to know we are a footwear company. We're not just somebody who made a sneaker and we're trying to compete with a sneaker. Once you do those, once you do boots, you already left Converse. Converse only do like 2 or 3 SKUs. That's still based around one. Like, Converse is cool, but you know the problem? I promise you, today I was on my way up here. Shorty had a pair of plain Converse. I had the hip hop TRPLs. I said, you won't be able to wear regular Converse no more because you're always gonna want to represent somebody. Naughty by Nature, Biggie, Pac. You can never wear normal Converse no more, put like that. It's always, from this point on, it's gonna be hip hop and better. You can't. It's just, and the minute they want to go to war, meaning you got a kid in the street and the other kid in the street, videotape it, tape it. I guarantee you'll see that you can't wear regular Chuck Taylor no more. It's over. And these are not Chuck Taylors. These are better built and everything else.
Now, what is you pulled out the box from your original shoe. What does the actual shoe look like?
The actual shoe, because you showed me love. A lot of people showed me love the first round, man. This is called the Midnight. This was the Midnight. This was the very first. This was Terry Crews when he was like, Buck, I want my triple threats. This was the shoe that Terry Crews was talking about. This was the shoe that Sway first gave me love. Me and Ebro was going at it over this shoe. And there's a few more people who remember the Savage. So, again, thank y'all for knowing that this is a real footwear company. And that's the difference between, some of these people out here. A lot of people could try to make a shoe, stamp something on the side, and go, I got my own sneaker. The machines, the lines, the days, the this, the that. It's so much building the real thing that it did take us 5 years. You know what I'm saying? And that's my contribution to hip hop, man. I will never let hip hop down because it's too many people that rob it. And it's like, nah. It's but we are the first. Don't let nobody else, and I'm talking about the real deal. Like I said, there's been you know what I call them? I call them the other leading brands. So I think we should stop calling Converse name.
Well, didn't Master P have his own sneaker and it was his own brand?
Yeah, P might have had again, P might have had something to that degree. And P obviously probably had the same thing. But I'm saying P did it a different way. Like, we're doing it a way where we're pretty much doing it for the people. So again, like our next series is a Guess Who series. Guess who's next? But we don't even know who's next because we get our stuff from y'all. So if we get 9,000 people saying, yo, man, Biggie, guess who coming out next? Biggie. We get 9 billion people saying Joey Badass, guess who's coming out next?
Yep. So you basically work out deals with the people who you feature and everyone gets a piece of it. Yeah.
Yes, sir. And not only do we do that, but we actually all one team. So get ready for songs coming from one unit with Public Enemy on the verse, Naughty on the verse, Buckshot on the verse, Lil Jamal on the verse. I mean, it's about to get crazy, man. It's about to get crazy.
That's what's up. So what's next? What are the next projects you're doing, music-wise?
Speaking of Sean Price, I really thank the people for giving me this opportunity to do this because now I could do the Hip Hop Heaven series, which I always wanted to do with stuff. And that's Sean Price, Phife, Tupac, Biggie, Aaliyah, Pumpkinhead. There's a lot of people that, that's gonna be on the Hip Hop Heaven series that a lot of y'all don't even know they dead or even give props to because they wasn't that dope of an MC or commercial. So these people are not here. They like, who? So that's one. The next thing is I'm partners in a company called Go Baller, and Go Baller is a sports social media network site. So mobile app. So we're the only ones that have this technology right now, and it pretty much aggregates every piece of sports through social media feeds. So LeBron James, and by the way, not only do my partner Chris Dell own a part of it, but Dan Gilbert is also one of our partners. I always say that name. People are like, "What the hell is Dan Gilbert?" Because I say but Dan Gilbert is part owner of the Cleveland Cavaliers. He's pretty much like the owner of the Cleveland Cavaliers. He owns Quicken Loans, stuff like that. So if you know Dan Gilbert, great. If you don't, he owns the Cavs. But we all got together and we made this app that pretty much aggregates all the sports. So if you're a sports fan and just say you like LeBron James, well, if you join our app, everything LeBron does on the social media site, you'll get it. If he posts on Instagram, if he posts on Twitter, if he posts on IG, if he posts on whoever, Nop, it don't matter. If he posts anywhere, you're gonna get it in one feed constantly. So you don't have to put on Instagram and click off, and put on Twitter and click off and Facebook. That's a thing in the past. So everything comes through one feed. You get all your stuff in one feed, and it's every sport. So you may see soccer, you may see hockey, it's basketball, football, and you can customize all that. So that pretty much is the mobile app that we're working on right now. Me and my partner Chris Dell and Blue Flame. There goes Blue as my partner again, and that app is going to be premiered on a phone that we got, another company got, that's coming out. That's the meeting I just left. I can't give out their name right now, but it's gonna be like another Metro PCS with its own Android phones, own Metro system, phone network, blah blah blah. So I'm one of the partners in that, and that right there is probably the limit to where I'm trying to really be at. Cause I'm telling you for real, I don't even remember. Somebody could come to me and be like, "Buck, you forgot our business together." It's like, my bad. But for right now, it's Go Baller, and it's TRPL, and it's Fubu Sports. So those are the three things that I'm working with right now.
Fubu Sports?
Yeah.
What's your connection with Fubu Sports?
That's the whole thing with the app coming out and featured on their premier phone and stuff like that.
Okay.
It's that time again. Like people they're looking for something. They're looking for something. They want it independent, and they want it. You know what I'm saying? So for me, shout out to Damon John. Again, just put like that. I can't really get... Shout out to Damon. Shout out to Keith, the whole crew. Of course, I'm big you up. Bruce, you kidding me? So shout out to the whole family over there. And yeah, that got to be known. Fubu Sports, you'll see it's a whole... And it's basically a phone app system that's going to give you the same whole thing. Long story, let's just keep it real simple, but off of that, look, stop. Okay? I want to make that another clear thing. I will not like someone overnight because something happened in the day. I cannot do that. Drew High is my partner for 20-some years. Okay? Had my godmother raised me for 20-some years, and she's white. Okay? I got too many people in my family that we do other things with. For me to sit there and say, just because my company is independent, it can't have no white people in it.
Yeah. Well, I think a lot of people don't realize that Duck Down released over 40 albums and sold over 3 million records.
Some of them
You
what?
know, 3 million records,
Yeah, yeah.
which is like, that's like almost $50 million grossed off this one independent label, that not everyone's heard about, but y'all sitting there doing 8 digits.
Yo, man, oh, there it go right now. This is my celebration cigar, right? So I don't even be bringing it like that. I do that to my peoples. Like when I'm with my homies and we around, that's when we be on the what you would call swaggerlicious. What you call swaggerlicious, that's when we be on it like that around my crib, like with the homies and all that. Because I don't even got time to be doing that or be around. Then I'll be going in too many meetings, right? Business meetings, real corporate business meetings, venture capitalists, angel investors, real shit. For me to be the goombaya, and they next thing you know, they like, whoa, this is like, nah, never get it twisted. I'm a man first. I know, you know what I'm saying? I'm not a goon. I'm not a dude running around, kicking his hand, slapping his hands and kicking his feet just because that's what them other niggas do. You know what I'm saying? That don't make you swaggerlicious, homie. I don't even use cash. Right? So I be seeing people sitting, they be stacking cash, big bricks on their neck, on their phone. I don't even use that shit. That shit's useless. You know what I'm saying? I got a card, homie. Like,
Right.
And guess what? If a bitch, I go to a motherfucking strip club, that bitch better have a motherfucking square on her ass cheeks. Okay? That bitch better have a square on her butt cheeks. I'll slide it, and then we can slide. Other than that, shorty, I'm not throwing up 1,000 ones in the street and all that other shit. That shit's played out. I don't give a fuck about that shit.
Yeah, man.
You know what I'm saying?
No doubt. Buckshot, always a pleasure, man.
Yo, not only is it a pleasure, but again, I just gotta say that one thing to the people. And please, if that's one thing that you let, go across, because I know a lot of things, we talked about may not fully, make it. But I just want people to know two things. It is one solution. I think it is okay. I know it sounds harsh, but they have something called capital punishment for a reason. Like, I don't know, but I know that if people were to think, like if police officers and all these other people that are fucked up, because it's a lot. My sister's a cop. No, I'm not gonna sit there and be on some, my sister's a fucking cop. My sister, and she's a good person. So I ain't even going there. But for the people that don't know that, just deal with those individuals. Precious people, value their life before anybody else. If a person feels that his life is at danger, he will most likely not take a life. If a person feels like they will be reprimanded at the most, then they will just get on some throat, man. Got a gun. Like, so you gotta let them know, if you kill, you will be killed. So try your best to not kill this person by any means. That means you have to be able to go step by step by step. There is no, oh, he had a gun, but it doesn't work that way. I can show you 900 different ways that you can deplete a situation before walking up to a car window and going, hey, sir, can I see a license? Like, that policy is outdated. Their laws is outdated. Their monies is outdated. All that shit is outdated. And that's for the Majestic 12, because they do run this shit. Trust me. Okay? And I ain't no Illuminati nigga. I don't give a fuck about that Illuminati shit. But I just personally know that they really exist and they really run shit. Right? So, oh yeah, last thing. There's something called the yin and the yang. And they will never come together because they're yin and yang. Black will always say, yo, the whole white race is wrong. The whole white of the fuck them. The whole white. And white people will always say the whole black race, right? Because we see them in the videos busting off shots and blah, 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 do. Then you got people like me and you that's that middle line. We're right in the middle. We keep telling everybody chill. You know what that does? That keeps the wheels spinning. All right? So I just want to let everybody know, think about that. And I am telling you that because I'm one of the last people. If infinity exists, right? And you step inside a circle and that's infinity, how could I tell you about infinity unless I was outside of the circle? So how could I get out of infinity if infinity is infinity? Think about that.